Hey friends, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Melissa, and in today's video, we are starting our decorating for Christmas around here, and I am getting started today. I'm working on my hutch, and so I just figured I would just bring you guys along and kind of show you my process of how I go about decorating for Christmas. I'm not one of those decorators that will decorate one shelf at a time, and you'll see that in this video. I will kind of float from top shelf to bottom and just kind of, because I look and see where pieces need to be fit and placement and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to get into today. I have since just finished wiping everything down. I get everything good and clean. And then I will always start with these white plates. I keep these white plates in my hutch. They are false craft. I think I'm saying that right. Plates. And I always use those as a backdrop. And I think they're really pretty for Christmas time. The white plates, just kind of blends in with all the colors. It's definitely a traditional color scheme going on around here this year, with the reds and the greens. Now, my kitchen and my dining room are in gingerbread. I typically do gingerbread in my kitchen, but this year I have stretched my gingerbread out and I'm placing it in the dining room. Last year, I did a Christmas tree in this corner, and this year I am making my hutch my focal point. So I like to layer pieces, as you saw where I just placed that cutting board on the bottom, and this cute little gingerbread house. I love this little house. And of course, those little snowflake, they look like gingerbread cookies. Those plates are a hot item right now from Hobby Lobby. And I got those this year with the little gingerbread, the circle plate at the top. But all the other pieces have been mine that I am just using. This is the bottom half of that cloche. If you watch the video where I broke the top part of this little stand, was like a little cloche, and I broke that. I think it was in like my fall decorate video. I don't know. But I kept the stand because you can still use it. And so I am using it here with this little faux cake that I made. I made this out of styrofoam, and so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of fixing it up to make it look like a little Christmas cake. Putting like the little cranberries around it and this little piece of greenery with this little ribbon that looks like a candy cane stripe on top. Just something very simple, something very basic, but I think gives a really cute, elegant little touch. Now we're back up to the top shelf and the third shelf again. So this is kind of how I roll. I go back and forth. But I'm placing this cutting board here with this cute little Santa mug. And I really like the way this turned out. These little cookies are just ornaments. And so I'm just folding over. I'm not going to take the little ribbon off of it, because if I ever wanted to use them on my tree, I still could. But I'm just folding over that little piece and hiding it, and then going to place them on this cutting board so it looks like cookies and milk for Santa. And I absolutely love how this turned out. Now, switching gears here, we're going to use this little glass jar, and I'm taking like the faux snow and going to put some of that inside of here, and then use this little Santa. I think those are for the Nespressos. I got a 4-pack of those from Big Lots. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just kind of placing things in different things. Trying to do some different things this year. I've never done this before. So I thought that this was a cute idea. I used this little piece of greenery with this little pine cone attached, and then place this little mug inside of there, and I just think that that's adorable. Now you'll also see that I will place things in one location, and then I will kind of sift and move things around, and I'm just kind of standing back looking at things and just trying to see if I like the placement of you know, where I put everything, and that's just kind of sometimes how you have to do it. And sometimes I will leave something somewhere for a little while, step back, really look at it, and then decide, no, I'm not liking that. And then I'll go and change it back. I put these same little pictures up here with these copper measuring spoons. And then to give them height, I always put like a Walmart bag down inside of the pitcher or whatever, and it will just give things added height. And then they don't fall down inside to where you can't see them. So back to the bottom shelf, I'm placing my False Craft little coffee pitcher in the back, and I'm using this little bowl with this other pitcher inside of it with a napkin, or just a simple basic red napkin. And I'm going to put some pine cones, a little greenery, and so I really like how this is turning out. Although I will give you fair warning, by the time you will see my Christmas house tour, I have actually added things to this hutch and kind of tweaked things a little bit. So I'll walk you through some of the changes that I made on it when we get to that point. But right now I'm just kind of showing you how I started. And this is kind of the groundwork for where I am at currently in my decorating, but this is where it all started. Okay, so moving on up to the top, the very top of the shelf, I am going to place one of the garlands that I purchased from the My Texas House line from Walmart this year. I purchased quite a few of these. However, I will admit, I think I purchased 8 of them and I took 5 back. And you will see in my decorating this year, I kept 3 of these. So I used one on this shelf. I used another one in the living room and another one somewhere else. But I ended up taking all of the rest back. And yeah, I ended up taking quite a few things back. And I ended up just using my garland that I have had previously. So, but I am keeping a few of them. I kept the 3, and I'm using this one on the hutch. Now I'm intertwining these little twinkle lights inside of this garland just to give it a little pop, and so that it feels like it's more of the focal point, because like I said, I'm not doing a tree in my dining room this year. And I wanted my hutch to be the focal point. So that's what I'm doing now. All right, friends. So once I get this garland to start cooperating and actually stay up on the top of the hutch, I am going to use these same 2 pictures, and I flank them on both sides. And I'm going to use this scale, this old time scale, and just use books to put underneath of it, because you can't see them, obviously. But it will give it more height so that you can see more of the scale on the top of the hutch. So just a little tip, if you have an area where you can't see underneath, just place some books underneath of something and you won't even see them, and it'll give your item height so that you can see more of your item. I'm using more of these little, I keep wanting to say they're shot glasses, but they're not shot glasses. They're small like a shot glass, but they are Nespresso mugs. And so I was going to use 3, but I ended up using 2 up here and just placing them on the top of the scale. And then I will place a little bit of greenery as well. right, friends. So that's going to be the end of today's video. Thank you so much for joining me today as I start my Christmas decorating and I start in my dining room on my hutch. This is just the start. By the time you come back to see the Christmas house tour, things will be added and tweaked just a little bit. But I wanted to go ahead and give you guys just the groundwork of where I start. And hopefully you found some inspiration, something that you might want to implement, replicate, or tweak in your own dining room, on your own hutch, or anywhere else in your home for that matter. So hopefully you've been inspired, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe. Comment down below, leave me a Christmas tree emoji, especially if you've watched this video to the end. And Lord willing, friends, there'll be another one. Merry Christmas.